I'm Ethan, 37 years old, and I've been camped out beside my 12-year-old daughter Lily's hospital bed for 3 days straight. A car accident on her bike left her unconscious in the ICU at Seattle Children's Hospital, her small frame dwarfed by machines and tubes. My eyes sting from exhaustion. My body aches from sleeping in a chair, but leaving her side feels unthinkable. The call came at 2:13 p.m. on a sunny Saturday, shattering the ordinary rhythm of our lives. One moment, Lily was pedaling off to meet her friends. The next, I was racing to the hospital, the words "critical condition" echoing in my head. As I sat by her bed, holding her hand and whispering promises I wasn't sure I could keep, my phone buzzed. It was my father, his voice clipped and impatient. "Tomorrow's your brother's birthday party. You need to help set up. Be at the house by noon." I stare at the phone, disbelief warring with exhaustion. "Dad, I can't. Lily's in a coma." His response was cold. "If you don't show, don't expect our support anymore." I hung up, deleted his number, and turned back to my daughter. This is a story of how a crisis clarified what family truly means, and the price I paid to protect what mattered most. Growing up in our polished Seattle suburb, I learned early that my father, Richard, demanded excellence. Our home was a showcase of achievement, every detail curated to reflect success. My younger brother, Nathan, was a star, captain of the debate team, valedictorian, destined for greatness. I wasn't a failure by any means. I excelled in track, earned solid grades, and stayed out of trouble. But in Richard's eyes, I was always a step behind. "Why can't you be more like Nathan?" was a refrain I heard from childhood through high school. My mother, Ellen, was softer, often tried to mediate, but her voice was drowned out by Dad's relentless standards. By high school, I stopped trying to compete. I found solace in writing, crafting short stories that captured the raw, messy beauty of real life. I volunteered at a local community center, teaching kids to express themselves through art. These were my escapes, my way of building an identity outside Nathan's shadow. Then in college, I met Sarah. She was a nursing student, grounded and kind, with a laugh that made everything lighter. She saw me, not as a lesser version of my brother, but as Ethan, the guy who wrote stories and believed in second chances. We married at 23, despite my father's warnings that I was settling too soon. His disapproval was palpable at our small wedding, though Mom slipped me a quiet, "I'm proud of you," with a hug. Lily arrived a year later, a bright-eyed girl with Sarah's smile and my stubborn streak. Even my father seemed charmed, though his affection came with critiques. "You're letting her run wild, Ethan. She needs structure." When Sarah was diagnosed with breast cancer at 27, our world fractured. She fought for 2 years, but the disease won. At 29, I was a widower, raising a 5-year-old who didn't understand why Mommy wasn't coming home. Grief was a tidal wave, but Lily needed me to be her anchor. I took a job as a high school English teacher, moved us to a modest apartment, and leaned on Sarah's parents for support. They became our lifeline, their warmth a stark contrast to my father's conditional love. Nathan's life, meanwhile, followed the script my father had written. He graduated from law school, married a marketing executive, and bought a sleek house in Bellevue. Family gatherings became showcases for Nathan's achievements, his promotions, his perfect kids, his curated life. My father would beam, saying things like, "Nathan's firm just landed a major client. When's the last time you did something big, Ethan?" I'd smile tightly, focusing on Lily, who loved her cousins despite the undercurrents of comparison. I kept the peace for Lily's sake. She adored her grandparents, and I wanted her to have that connection. But every interaction with my father came with strings. He'd pay for Lily's summer camp, then remind me I couldn't afford it on my teacher salary. He'd invite us to dinner, then critique my parenting or my dead-end career. Mom tried to soften the blows, but her loyalty to Dad limited her support. I built a life for Lily and me outside their orbit. Friends from work, Sarah's family, our little traditions like Friday movie nights. We were healing slowly from Sarah's loss, finding a rhythm that felt like home. Then came the accident. Lily, excited for a bike ride with friends, had asked, "Can I go to the park trail with Mia and Sophie?" Mia's mom is driving us. I checked her helmet. Mayor promised to text me and watch her ride off, her ponytail bouncing. The call came hours later, a stranger's voice. "Are you Lily's father? There's been an accident." A driver had veered onto the trail, hitting Lily. She was in surgery, head trauma, broken ribs, a shattered femur. I don't remember the drive to hospital, only the sterile waiting room and the surgeon's grave face. The next 48 hours are critical. Lily's surgery lasted 7 hours. The neurosurgeon stopped the bleeding in her brain, but swelling persisted. They placed her in a medically induced coma to give her brain a chance to heal. When I finally saw her in the ICU, I barely recognized her. Her face swollen, her head bandaged, a ventilator breathing for her. The nurse, Maria, showed me how to hold her hand without disturbing the tubes. "Talk to her," she said. "She might hear you." So I did, telling her about the hiking trip we'd planned, the stories we'd write together, anything to tether her to me. My mother arrived that first night, her face pale but composed. "She'll be fine, Ethan. The doctors know what they're doing." Her reassurance fell hollow, more about calming herself than supporting me. Dad didn't come, citing a work emergency. Friends stepped in. Colleagues brought food. Sarah's parents called daily. Mia's mom dropped off clothes. But as the second day dawned with no change in Lily's condition, fear settled in like a permanent guest. By the third day, I was a ghost of myself, unshaven, surviving on coffee and adrenaline. Maria urged me to shower, promising to stay with Lily. I was stepping out of the bathroom when my phone rang. Dad's voice cut through. "Nathan's birthday is tomorrow. We need you to help set up." Noon sharp. I explained Lily's condition, my voice cracking. His reply was a blade. "The doctors are handling it. You can spare a few hours. Don't make this harder than it needs to be." When I refused, he said, "If you don't show, we're done helping you. No more money, no more support." I ended the call, deleted his contact, and returned to Lily's side, shaking with rage and resolve. The hospital became my world. Beeping monitors, hushed voices, the rhythmic hiss of the ventilator. Lily's vitals stabilized slightly, but she remained unresponsive. Maria and the other nurses became my anchors, translating medical jargon, offering quiet encouragement. My mother called once, not to check on Lily, but to confirm I'd be at Nathan's party. "It's important to him, Ethan. Don't let him down." I repeated that Lily was in a coma, fighting for her life. She sighed, exasperated. "You're being selfish. Nathan's worked hard for this moment." I hung up, too stunned to argue. That night, alone in the family room, I wrestled with doubt. Dad's threat echoed. Cutting us off meant no college fund, no safety net. Lily deserved better than my pride. But the memory of his ultimatum burned. My daughter's life versus a birthday party. I thought of Sarah, who'd always put Lily first, no matter the cost. I chose Lily. The next morning, Dr. Chun, the neurologist, brought cautious hope. "The swelling's down. We're reducing sedation today." I clung to those words, watching Lily's still face for any sign of life. Around noon, text from Nathan's wife, Claire, began, "We know Lily's sick, but this is Nathan's big day. Can't you come for an hour?" Then my aunt, "Your father's furious. Family comes first." Not one asked about Lily. I turned off my phone, focusing on her. At 6 p.m., as Nathan's party likely began, Lily's fingers twitched. I froze, heart pounding. "Maria," I called. She checked the monitors, her eyes wide. "Increased brain activity. This is good." Dr. Chin arrived, confirming the change. She's moving toward consciousness. Hours later, Lily's eyes fluttered open, unfocused but alive. "Dad!" She mouthed around the ventilator tube. Tears streamed down my face as I squeezed her hand. "I'm here, kiddo." By morning, the ventilator was removed. Lily's voice was weak but clear. "Water." Then, "I'm hungry." Small miracles, but they felt like the world. She drifted in and out, each awakening stronger. During one lucid moment, she whispered, "Grandpa wanted you at the party, didn't he?" I hesitated, then nodded. "I stayed with you." Her eyes, so like Sarah's, softened. "You did the right thing." The next day, my father and Nathan appeared unannounced. Dad's face was a mask of disapproval. "You've embarrassed us, Ethan." Nathan added. Claire was devastated. "You couldn't spare an hour?" I stood firm. My daughter woke up from a coma last night. I wasn't leaving her. Dad scoffed. "She's awake now. You overreacted." I laid out the truth. "Lily needed me. You made it clear where your priorities lie." I set boundaries, 5-minute visits, no stress. Dad stormed out. Nathan lingered, offering a half-hearted apology. I let it go, focused on Lily. Lily's recovery was a marathon. Physical therapy, cognitive tests, and setbacks tested us, but her spirit shone through. "I get my strength from you, Dad," she said after a grueling session. My heart swelled. Our support system grew. Friends, Sarah's parents, even Nathan's kids, who visited with genuine care. Dad cut us off financially as promised, but the loss felt like freedom. I took on freelance writing. We moved to a smaller apartment, and Lily set her sights on scholarships. A year later, we celebrated Lily's 13th birthday quietly. Friends, Sarah's parents via video call, a homemade cake. My mother sent a gift, but didn't visit. Lily noticed. "Grandpa's mad, isn't he?" I explained. Sometimes, family doesn't understand what matters most. But we've got each other, and that's enough. She nodded, leaning against me. More than enough. As we watched the Seattle skyline light up, I realized the truth. Letting go of toxic ties wasn't loss. It was liberation. Lily and I were enough, and the family we built, through love, not obligation, was unbreakable.